You glide along Virginia's Colonial Parkway with the river on your right and history pressing in from the trees, and you probably feel safe. How could you not? This is the postcard drive you take when you want to show out-of-towners why the Commonwealth still calls itself Old Dominion. Yet every curve in the road hides a whisper, and tonight that whisper belongs to 4 pairs of young lovers who disappeared into the dark in the late 1980s. You can almost hear the gravel crunch under their tires, the soft slam of a car door, the low laugh before everything goes silent. Let's rewind to the 1st October of Terror, 1986, when you meet Kathy Thomas and Rebecca Dowski. 2 friends, maybe more, depending on who talks, leave the campus of William and Mary, head for the Parkway, and never come back. When rangers discover their Honda Civic angled toward the York River, the interior looks like a time capsule. Purses are there. A blanket is tossed across the seats. Windows are cracked as if to watch the water breathe. The missing piece is the women themselves, now lying in the brush, throats cut with the cruel efficiency of someone who does not rush. You picture headlights floating down the road, the killer's shadow sliding beside them, and you wonder if Kathy and Rebecca even had a chance to scream. If you lived nearby then, maybe you wrote it off as a single nightmare. Bad things happen, sure, but they don't repeat. Only 1 year later, they do. Robin Edwards, only 14, and David Knobling, a 20-year-old who liked to play big brother to her, drive to Ragged Island, a lover's lane just off the Parkway's southern reach. It's the kind of place where you flip your headlights off early so no one reports you for trespassing. Their truck is found days later, doors flung open, windshield wipers still clicking against a dry glass, radio humming dead air. Even if you tried, you could not script a scene more ominous. Their bodies surface on the James River shore, shoes missing, pockets still full, which tells you robbery was never the motive. So what was? Control, rage, a thrill only the hunter understands. Patterns begin to form, don't they? Isolated parking spots, couples or close friends, minimal evidence of struggle inside vehicles. Yet the victims show brutal hands-on violence outside. You start to imagine a stranger who approaches with a badge, because who else could coax 2 people from the relative shield of a car on a moonless night? That theory will animate countless forums decades later, but in 1987, it lives only in hushed conversations across gas station counters. Enter April of 1988. Mike Margaret and Donna Hall, sweethearts since college orientation, decide on a shortcut off the Parkway near the Cheatham Annex Overlook. You could drive past that turnout right now and miss it if you blink. Their Toyota Celica appears abandoned, yet locked, which is a twist. The FBI notes that a lock may mean they stepped out willingly. Nearby, through pine needles and low mist, searchers locate their bodies. Each is bound with rope, throats cut so deeply the coroner closes his report early and walks outside for air. The press coins a phrase, Lover's Lane Killer. For the first time, local families see a narrative linking 3 separate ambushes, and fear balloons across Hampton roads like a storm front. If you're picturing a dramatic manhunt, the truth is quieter, almost maddeningly slow. The Parkway spans 23 serpentine miles, with overlooks that vanish into woods thick enough to erase tire tracks in a day. Rangers, state police, and the FBI overlap jurisdictions, and that overlap bleeds precious time. Evidence bags sit in lockers waiting for signatures. Leads bounce from desk to desk. You get the sense of a puzzle spilled on 3 different tables, no single person seeing the full picture. Then the calendar turns to September 1989, and you meet Anna Maria Phelps and Daniel Lower, cousins by marriage, traveling from Amelia County to Virginia Beach in a gold Chevy Nova. Daniel is moving in with his brother. Anna Maria tags along to help, and the drive should feel routine. They never arrive. Their Nova is discovered on the opposite side of the parkway, at the I-64 rest stop. Driver's seat pushed far back as though someone tall parked it. Anna Maria's favorite blanket covers the back seat like a shield. 6 weeks later, hunters come across skeletal remains tucked under a hunting blind's plywood. The medical examiner can't confirm cause of death, but 2 rings and a delicate braid of hair tell the families all they need to know. 4 crime scenes now form an uneasy constellation. You trace them on a map and realize how fast a single predator could navigate between them, especially on quiet weeknights when only fog claims the road. Victim profiles overlap. Young, paired, relaxed, local enough to trust the parkway. Forensic threads appear too. Knife wounds to the neck. Personal items left behind. Vehicles staged almost like props in a theatre of dread. Still, the Bureau hesitates to pronounce a serial killer. Internally, some agents push the badge impersonator theory, arguing that college students raised on stranger danger would only unlock doors for someone they perceived as law. Others believe copycats may be piggybacking on early headlines, turning the parkway into a stage for unrelated grudges. Families refuse to sit quietly. You attend one of their kitchen table briefings and feel the mix of grief and grit. They gather flyers, hand-draw maps, and phone every retired agent willing to chat. In the 90s, they adopt a new ally, the early internet. Message boards sprout with names like Parkway Vigil and Coastal Cold Cases, places where you, even as a casual commuter, can post a memory of seeing flashing lights or a suspicious van. Over time, technology sharpens. By 2010, geographic profiling tools once locked behind federal paywalls become browser plugins. Armchair detectives overlay crime scene coordinates with heat maps of seasonal traffic, hunting corridors, even hunting seasons, because the killer might double as an outdoorsman. You watch this crowdsourced hive churn and you wonder, will the next breakthrough come from a basement laptop rather than Quantico? Of course, DNA looms over any modern cold case conversation. The Parkway files sat decades before genetic genealogy cracked open the Golden State Killer saga. Now families lobby for the same tech. They learn that swabs collected in '86 still rest in evidence freezers, some contaminated, others pristine. Funding hurdles stall fresh testing, but public pressure grows. You might sign a petition urging the governor to allocate money. You might donate a saliva kit, hoping your distant cousin's profile intersects with the unknown killers. Imagine that. A simple click connecting you to a secret hiding in someone else's bloodstream. Yet every theory still runs into paradoxes. Take the badge idea. No uniforms go missing, no credible impersonation reports surface. What about a rogue ranger? Background checks clear them. A disgruntled Navy crewman from nearby bases. Logs place most overseas during at least one murder. Multiple killers colluding. Unlikely. But group fantasy crimes have happened before. Then there's the terrain itself. The parkway is federally managed, lit only by moonlight, patrolled by rangers who might not pass a particular overlook more than twice a night. It gives any predator long windows of privacy. Maybe the road, not the murderer, is the true constant. You begin to sense how this story splits into 2 timelines. One moving forward with new tools, and one frozen on dusty audio tapes, where agents recall gut feelings long past actionable. A retired detective plays you an old cassette. You hear rain hitting his windshield as he describes footprints too degraded to cast. His voice drifts, then clicks off. That tape feels like the moment hope flickered, but didn't die, because someone thought to hit record. So where does that leave you today, driving the same stretch under LED headlights? It leaves you with vigilance. You slow at the pullouts, glance at the historical markers, and cannot unsee the ghost car still parked in your mind. You think about how quickly safety becomes memory, and how every place you love carries another story under its skin. Maybe you'll join the next virtual meetup where citizen sleuths comb declassified files. You'll hear them debate the angle of rope burns, the significance of missing shoes, the odds that a killer kept souvenirs. You might bring fresh perspective, because sometimes the detail that cracks a case isn't a DNA spike, but a storytelling shift, a new way to connect the dots that have always been visible. And if a resolution comes, what will justice look like decades later? An aging suspect escorted into federal court, a posthumous confession unearthed from diaries, or simply an official statement linking the four couples beyond reasonable doubt. Each scenario delivers closure of a different flavor, yet each grants the same thing: peace on a road that deserves to be remembered for colonial brick and river views, not the fear that once patrolled its edges. As you exit the parkway and merge back into commuter lanes, keep one takeaway close. Darkness hides what daylight eventually reveals. Secrets may travel fast, but truth travels patiently, and it never loses the trail. Your vigilance, your curiosity, your decision to lean in rather than speed past. That might be the mile marker that finally ends the silence,